Today, I thought I'd do something a little new and check out a visual novel that I've actually never played before, and that is Cienie. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's a Polish word meaning shadows, I think, but it's a detective mystery visual novel. I've been hearing a lot about it lately, and so I thought now would be the perfect time to jump in and check it out. I don't really know anything about it, other than, it's, like I said, a mystery. People going missing in a small town, and you're some sort of private investigator. Yeah, so without further ado, let's begin. A classic detective investigation about a deceitful stay-at-home husband who's been cheating on his poor, hard-working wife has finally reached its conclusion. We've caught him red-handed thanks to Tom's help. Alas, I couldn't say it was a pleasant case to work on, but it's one of those small, doable cases that we both need at the moment to boost our spirits. It was a good idea to assign Tom to take these pictures. That kid has a knack for getting himself into deep waters, so might as well channel that into something productive. Still, given what's been happening in this town recently, it's becoming a risky job for him. I pull out the keys from my pocket, sliding it into the door's keyhole into my office. Ooh, our first look at the office. The office light's still on. Tom. The office looks tidier than usual. Perhaps Tom cleaned it up? Still, whenever he cleans up, he tends to leave the office items in very odd places. I head down to the bedroom connected to the office. The door is slightly ajar. I wouldn't be surprised if he had stayed here overnight again. Well, it's not much of a bedroom per se. There are only really two old wooden shelves and a trusty couch where I usually sleep. I take off my jacket and toss it on the couch. The room is a perpetual mess. But that's fine, because I've made a mental map of where everything is supposed to be. For instance, these files that Tom was tasked with sorting out today. Even at a quick glance, I can tell the most recent ones are missing. Oh no. Tom has been spending a lot of time poring over those. Maybe they're in the office. Sitting down behind the desk, I look through the pile to make sure the files aren't there. As I turn on the radio, it crackles a little before picking up transmission of a news broadcast. I take out the last cigarette from my breast pocket. I'll need to remember to buy more. Or I should quit smoking. Cheaper option. The police are still dealing with complaints over the botched investigation of the missing individuals in Sipneo. I do not know how to pronounce that. That is, I'm sorry. The radio blares the voice of one of the townspeople being interviewed.
It's been almost 3 years, and we still know nothing. How long must the victims' families put up with the cops' incompetence?
With a deep sigh, I turn off the radio. Police are losing the trust of the people isn't uncommon anymore. Most officers fail at handling even the most routine tasks, and often put people in danger. I run my fingers through the files in the drawer. That case file isn't here. Did Tom take it? I take out my cell phone to dial Tom's number, but I realize the battery's already dead. At least the office telephone is always working. Hey, it's Tom. Sorry I can't answer right now. Please leave a message. Damn it. I dial his home number instead. Hello? Carol, it's Marcus.
It's Marcus.
Is Tom home?
Wasn't he with you? He hasn't come back home yet. Did he do something? Nah, nothing. Goodbye.
I already can tell I'm not going to be able to keep my character voices apart. But that is part of the journey of trying to read a visual novel live. Love that. I immediately return the telephone handle back to its cradle. With keys in hand, I dash downstairs. He probably thinks he's helping, but I'm honestly afraid he might be making things worse. I head out of the building and hop into my car. Within moments, I'm speeding through the familiar streets of this seemingly tranquil town. Oh, there's the art from the loading screen. Or the title screen. My boots are now drenched, with the streets full of deep puddles in this rain, but I'm not gonna budge. I keep peeking over the corner of the wall, waiting. The ball's in there. Trying to reassure myself, as all I can do now is wait. This is the place. The place our missing guy has been visiting recently. He's been missing for a month, according to the file. Eventually, he came back and started acting strange, his mother told Marcus. Only to then disappear again. It's been 4 days since then, and this is the place he goes to every night. The gas station manager stated that Camille often just stands outside, almost as if waiting for someone. Marcus got footage from the manager. After seeing it, the client confirmed it was her son. The real question is, of all disappearance cases, why is he the only one that came back? I mean, if someone wanted to vanish, they wouldn't be strolling around so nonchalantly. But did he want to vanish? Uncertainties fill my mind, but I need to stay focused. With a deep breath, I try to quell my impatience. This persistent rain is wearing me down. Tempting as it is to check the time on my phone, I know it'll only heighten my frustration. My frigid and damp paws struggle to even hold the camera properly, and it almost slips out of them. Aw, damn it. Just then, the wind chime sings. I rub the rainwater off my brows, trying to focus on the figure leaving the gas station. It's him. I spot his horns first, which matches the ones in the pictures. There aren't many bulls living in this town. It's definitely him. I snap a picture, just in case. Keeping a safe distance to avoid being spotted, I start following him. Even having done this before, I get nervous. The pitter-patter of rain thankfully muffles the sounds of my footsteps. Although, the tricky part is trying to avoid stepping in the puddles. The bull presents a towering figure, the streetlights casting a huge... I pick up my notes, trying to see if there's anything I overlooked about the bull. Okay, let's see. Description, Camille Novak. Features, white horns with gold rings, black hair, bluish-gray fur, purple eyes. Gender, male, age 26 years old, nationality, Polish. Last seen, Creaking Pines gas station. Species, bull. Height, 189 centimeters, which is 6'2". Weight, 90 kilograms, which is 198 pounds. Missing since 25th August 2016. Do we know what the current year is? Am I missing? They said a bunch of people have been missing and it had been years. But this person came back. Am I misremembering? I thought they said it was like 4 years. And then they resurfaced. Let's see. I'm stupid. Came home after disappearing for a month. Okay. Disappeared again 4 days later. Okay, so it is in 2016. Good to know. According to the owner and workers, he often stands outside. I'm assuming that's about the gas station. Sometimes buys cigarettes before leaving. Footage shows him there many times after his disappearance. His mother confirms that it's him in the footage. New notes, was found inspecting random houses. Need to check these houses later. So yeah, okay. Like I am guessing that he met someone, is meeting up with someone, and maybe that person has gone missing. And so he keeps going back to the gas station, hoping that they will be there. Because it sounds like lots of people have been going missing, so maybe this person was secretly meeting up with someone else, and now that person is missing. That's sort of, I could be totally wrong, but that's kind of where I see this going. Camille's mother had told Marcus that they were really close, and that he was unhappy, but he always talked about it with her. He struggled to find a job, and it weighed on him. His mother supported him regardless. Camille started leaving the house at weird hours, coming back the next day or really late at night. Then she received a phone call. He said, "I'm sorry," following which he disappeared. Now, a month later, he's back, waiting for someone or something at that gas station, and inspecting some houses. Definitely sounds like he got mixed up in something shady. Maybe he was or is associated with a dangerous group of people. I mean, okay, that's the other... I'm trying to interpret this in a way where it's not as depressing, but, yeah, he could be, involved with a gang or some group. And I'm excited to find out. Well, not excited to see if it's, a sad story, but it's an interesting mystery. That would make sense, considering the phone call Mrs. Novak received. Maybe he wanted out, and they didn't want to let him leave. If that's the case, it would mean the houses are, what? A target for something? Now that I know which places he was observing, it might be easier to learn something. I run down the addresses of the houses he inspected. A quick yawn escapes me as I scribble on the paper. I should be in bed. My other work starts early in the morning. Gathering the scattered notes on my desk, I stack them in a neat pile. Then I flop into bed. Lying there, I realize, I still need to turn off the lights. The bed is so comfy, though. I groan into my pillow, trying to gather all the strength I have left to get up and turn it off. That's the worst, when you're like, oh my gosh, in bed, and you're like, I could just fall asleep, I'm floating on a cloud. I could just fall asleep so easily. You get off, you turn off the lights, and then suddenly you're awake, and you're like, okay, I'm not ready to go to sleep now. Literally worst experience in the world. Before I can do so, a noise makes me jump. It sounded like it came from the corridor. I look to my door, expecting Dad to enter. When he doesn't, I get up from my bed, opening the door and glancing into the dark hallway, seeing nothing. I shuffle back into my room and I lock the door. I have no idea why I did that, but it does make me feel a bit safer. I turn the lights off and slip back into bed. I lie there in pitch darkness, trying to discern where the sound came from after all. Part of me hopes I just imagined it. Wouldn't be the first time. Just then, it happens again. I look around, barely moving my body. It appears to be coming from outside. I slowly get up and approach the window. Darkness made it hard to spot anything. Ooh. It takes my eyes a bit to adjust, but as they do, I spot a figure standing outside. In a rhythmic fashion, he kicks my wooden fence, stands still, and then does it again. The horns and the clothing. Is that Camille? What the fuck? As he stands there, now motionless, I try to get a better view. He suddenly turns around, focuses on the forest behind, and for a moment it looks like he's talking to himself. A sharp pain pierces my head as the floor beneath me becomes shaky and uneven. Camille looks straight at me. The ball blurs in and out of my focus. Our gazes lock. I'm completely petrified. My shoulders tighten while I hold my breath. It's too late to hide now. He knows I'm watching. He must have seen me follow him. Fuck. A part of me wants to back away from the window and go back to bed, to pretend this is just a bad dream, but I can't. It might be my only chance to learn something. Despite all my instincts screaming at me not to do this, I open my room window. We stare at each other in silence for what feels like an eternity. In the end, I lose the staring contest and decide to speak up. Who are you? What are you doing here? Not knowing how much he knows, it's probably safer to play dumb. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, I love that art for him. That looks so creepy. My body freezes again. His voice is hoarse, rough, as if he's just finished a marathon. While I struggle to get a proper response, the bull keeps staring back at me. It feels like his eyes are piercing right through me. I don't know what you're doing here, but...
Do you see them too?
What? He doesn't respond, but keeps his gaze on me. There's only an agonizing silence. It feels like forever before he turns around and simply walks away. I want to yell after him, but I can't. All I can do is stare at his back as his form fades into the darkness. Okay, so I'm guessing there's probably something a little bit more suspicious going on than just missing people. Like that feels like, obviously they could take the route of, oh, this person is just, like creepy or weird or on drugs or something. But I feel like if you're going to include someone ominously giving out messages in the middle of the night, there's something more going on, like a cult, I don't know, or ghosts, like maybe it's just because so many furry visual novels have like sort of supernatural or horror elements, but that's what I'm thinking. As soon as he disappears, my motor function returns. I back off from the window, closing it. The pounding in my chest slows down as I sit on my bed. The fuck was that? There's something seriously wrong with this guy. I should call Marcus. Right. My phone's gone. With a deep breath, I lie down, facing the window, almost as if I'm expecting him to be there again. One question lingers on my mind. He obviously saw me follow him, but how did he find me? Trying to think of every possibility, my mind begins to spiral. He didn't follow us. That would be impossible, right? Then, does this mean he already knew where I lived? Why would it be impossible for him not to follow them? Like, because they were in a car, but I didn't make it sound like they were like speeding down the highway. He could have pretended to get on the bus, hidden in the bushes or something, and then followed them in the car. Maybe, I guess that is unreasonable. I don't know. It doesn't seem impossible, but who knows? And if so, does that mean he knows something about Marcus and me? My mind is racing with questions I can't answer. My mind racing with questions that I can't answer is draining, though. And before I even realize it, I am out. I wake up to a sharp, almost blinding light coming from my window. I wish that what happened yesterday had just been a dream at this point. Sadly, it wasn't. What do I even do now? I grab some fresh clothes and stumble out of my room and head to the bathroom. It's hard to get the image of the bull staring at me out of my mind. I should visit Marcus and tell him what happened. Then again, I should probably not skip work at the shop. I need the money. Is Marcus not paying him? Because that wouldn't be good. After taking care of my basic hygiene, it's time to face the real beast. I get downstairs and bump into empty cans and other rubbish strewn across the floor in the living room. Annoyed, having forgotten about the mess down there, I kick one of the cans. I just need to make sure I've gotten everything before I head off. I don't have time for breakfast. Only after putting on my shoes do I realize they're on the wrong feet. Good job, detective. Can't you be more quiet? My head's throbbing. Okay, so we do have character sprites. So, like every day? After tying my shoes, I hurriedly get up on my feet and put on my jacket. Don't you have work today or something? Don't be smart, but yeah, I do. Heading off in an hour. Dad glances at the clock as if to make sure his statement is correct. Right, well, I'm already late, so I'll be heading out. He looks at me, but quickly walks to the fridge, which contains nothing aside from, well, booze. Heading to the shop? Yeah. Dad takes out a can of beer, opens it, takes a sip before speaking. Really? Are you really gonna drink before work? Think of it as my morning coffee. Right. Do whatever you want, then. I grab the door handle. Wait. I flare my nostrils as I turn around at him. What? He sits down by the kitchen table, putting his beer down.
How's the work with Marcus so far?
Good.
That's good. Who would have thought you would have followed in her footsteps?
Sorry, I gotta go. It's super late already. So I'm guessing like her mom was a detective or something. Alright. The knock on the door catches me off guard. The first thought that hits my mind is the bull is outside my door.
Are you gonna open it?
I look at him, then back to the door before swinging it open. A familiar German Shepherd greets me. Oh, he has like they blink and stuff. I'm never sure how to feel about that when like they have there's several visual novels, not just furry ones, that have like, you know, character expressions, like they blink like passively and stuff, and I never know what to think about it because sometimes it just throws me off. But I do like the I appreciate the extra effort that the artist put in. I just never know how to feel about it. Maybe I'm just not used to it. Also, is his head shape? It might just be his little tufts on his fur. The portrait is a lot like more angular. Like his ears are pointier, and I'm assuming that's just like stylistic differences. Hey there, bud. You left your phone in the camera bag. He pulls it out of his pocket and waves it at me in front of me.
I know you can't live without it.
Your knowledge truly knows no bounds. I'm sorry for my character voices. I snatch my phone away from his paw. But thanks. Indeed, you've saved my hide.
Oh, right. Well, your phone was in my possession and it called twice. I ignored the first for privacy reasons. But when she called the second time shortly after, I picked up. She said you're on your own for a few days and she's off with her girlfriend.
Shit. It's this week? I forgot about that. Right, yeah. The occult fest or something. She mentioned... So, okay, there's gonna be something about the occult or cults or something. Like, you can't have something called the occult fest and not actually have something spooky going on. I can only groan at the news. Of course she goes on break on a Monday.
Well, whatever happens, I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Dad approaches us, locking eyes with Marcus. Oh! Oh my gosh, his tail wags! Oh my gosh. That is adorable. Okay. I am pro animated sprites if it means his tail gets to wag. Does Coral not blink either? Okay, that is a little weird. If you have one of them who's blinking a bunch and one of them who's not. But oh my gosh, the tail. Oh, I love that. Dad approaches us, locking eyes with Marcus in a stare down.
Marcus? Coral.
Marcus and Dad may have been friends once, but not anymore. This is the last thing I need right now. It's too early for this.
What are you two talking about?
Nothing. I'm heading out.
Alright.
I shut the door behind me and shove Marcus forward. I notice him giving me a concerned look. I let him go and keep walking further and further from the house.
Not to pry, bud, but what was that about?
What do you mean?
He basically shoved me out the door.
Marcus puts his hand on my shoulder, stopping me, and looks towards the house.
Did he do anything?
Oh, no, not at all.
You sure?
Well, it's just... Marcus has probably noticed the hesitant cadence in my speech by now. His canine ears perked up like satellite dishes. I'm having a hard time talking to him.
I would say that's normal after what happened.
Marcus leans forwards, his brows furrowed in genuine concern. I stare back into my reflection in his ocean blue eyes. A deep sigh escapes me. It's nothing, really. It just feels like whatever we had as a family is gone with Mom. But I'm not going to mention that to him.
Your father's a stubborn man. I doubt he wants to openly talk about what happened. So he drowns it in liquor.
I tried countless times to reach out to him and talk to him about what happened to Mom. Yet each time, I was met with silence, a refusal to talk. Well, the rumor is still going around too.
Do you believe what people are saying?
I know he'd never hurt her. Listening to the neighbors gossip about whether he might have done something to Mom was hard enough. People had already made up their mind about who my father really is, even though they have it all wrong.
So does the police. They found nothing on him. The police aren't going to act on some rumors.
Never mind. To be honest, they don't act much at all.
That's true.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't want to bother you with my problems today.
Not a worry. If you ever need to talk, I'm all ears.
Like you always are.
Oh?
I just can't get over the tail wagging.
Oh, let me just...
His rigid ears suddenly drooped down.
Okay, that makes it look like you're not even paying attention.
Marcus lets out a chuckle, bringing out a tiny smile to my face. Then I remember one more important thing I've yet to mention to Marcus, the nighttime visit from that ball. I feel like I'm about to be grounded from field work even more now. There's one other thing. I'll just get straight to the point.
Sure, what is it?
Also, I just noticed the dialogue looks like it's handwritten. The font, and then the narration looks like it's typed up. Again, whoever did the UI, it's just so perfect. Also, when they mentioned names in the dialogue, I'm pretty sure it's also like the handwritten font. I just think it's just such a cool attention to detail.
Sure, what is it?
Camille was outside my house yesterday. Marcus's brows wrinkle as his gaze locks with mine.
Tom, that's not funny. Didn't you say he went on the bus?
I said I thought he did. Clearly he didn't.
Are you alright? How'd he find you? What do you want? Did he say anything?
Marcus bombards me with questions, but then stops himself, falling silent to finally give me a chance to explain. I heard a noise outside my window, and when I looked, I saw him. Whenever I blink for a second, I see his vacant stare piercing through me. When he spotted me, I tried to ask him a few questions. He didn't really answer any.
That's concerning.
He just said, "You shouldn't have done that," and asked if I could see them too. No idea what he meant.
You'll have to be really careful from now on.
I'll contact Igor. So, you're involving the police after all?
No, just him.
He is still part of the police, though.
And Tom, no more investigating this. Do I make myself clear?
Well, can't say I'm surprised, but it still feels like a punch to the gut. Alright.
I'll keep you updated, so keep your phone handy and don't leave it somewhere again.
Yes, sir. I give him a smirk and salute, trying to lighten the mood, but his brows are still deeply furrowed.
Let me drive you to work.
You sure? That's pretty far from your place.
It's fine. A 5-minute drive won't kill me.
We both get into his car. Neither of us really says anything throughout most of the drive. I keep wondering about Camille and what he could have meant. Part of me is really hoping I won't run into him again. It's a pretty short and uneventful ride, but this saves me about 20 minutes of walking. I'm already late as is, which is my own fault. Marcus's fingers drum on the wheel as he briefly inspects the rearview mirror before glancing at me.
After your shift, maybe we could grab some hot cocoa?
Well, we could, but I thought you hated chocolate.
Well, yeah, I get you a cocoa and a coffee for myself. Dark and brooding, just like me.
Wow. Honestly, the only thing more dark and brooding about you is your dirty car. It looks like I'm being kidnapped. His tail wags as he chuckles. A faint smile again curls on my lips. On approach to the shop, I take out the key from my pocket as Marcus stops the car. Thanks for the ride.
Don't mention it. I'll see you around. And Tom, be careful. We don't know if Camille's gonna try to do something again.
Alright, I'll try my best. I think I might stop here for now. I've been recording for a little bit. Yeah, I'm liking the visual novel so far. Obviously, I haven't really gotten that much into it. And this is my first time, making a video reading through a visual novel, so I didn't do the best job. But I would love to hear what people think. I'd be happy to continue the visual novel, reading more on the channel, or checking out other visual novels that I haven't read. So if either of those are ideas that you like, let me know. Or if there's any other visual novels you can suggest, hey, tell me, and I might check them out. I'm still not 100% sure on what balance of just straight up reading the visual novel and interjecting my own thoughts I should have. I've tried to comment on this stuff, coming up with my own theories and whatnot, but I know that might kind of be annoying to listen to, so that's another thing. If you think that I should cut back on that, or if that's okay, or if I should just leave all my speculation to one part of the video, let me know, because this is a new experience for me. But yeah, this has been Cienie, and I have really enjoyed it. I'm very excited to see more of this mystery. I really like like I said, the UI, amazing. The art is really cool. I love the character sprites. I like Marcus. I mean, there haven't been a lot of characters, but Marcus really, yeah, Marcus is a real one. Yeah, so, thank you for watching my video, and I will see you later.